Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. Well, the big summer blockbusters are coming up, and guess which ones have the most hype? Aside from that one. Aside from that one too. For the sake of this joke, I'm gonna say The Avengers and Prometheus. Yes, people are excited to see these two big films premiere, and why shouldn't they be? You got one film directed by Joss Whedon and another film about the Alien franchise. With so much build-up between these two movies, you gotta wonder why nobody thought to put Joss Whedon and the Alien franchise together at some point. Oh my god, not Alien Resurrection. My god!
Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah, how many of you knew that the geek god of sci-fi actually started off writing one of the dumbest sci-fi flicks ever to hit the screen? This sequel was made in fan response to the fact that nobody was satisfied with the last and supposed final Alien movie. So they made this flick to try and end it on a stronger note, when really it was Hollywood's way of saying, hey, you think that's a bad way to end a franchise? Take a look at how else we can fuck up this turkey. Throw in the very natural selection of the director from Amelie, and you get a film that surprisingly sucks out the dignity of alien creatures who are more phallic-shaped than Alf. So let's see why in space nobody can hear you suck! This is Alien Resurrection. So they waste no time on the resurrection part. We see Ripley, played again by Sigourney Weaver, brought back to life through cloning 200 years later after her death. Jesus, bringing people back from 200 years ago? There are so many rap battles that can evolve from this! She's brought back so that scientists can reproduce the alien creature that was implanted inside of her. And seeing how this is a Joss Whedon script, I expect at least one of those mad scientists to have a sing-along. I'm looking at you, Wormtongue. Blood and guts, slimy too. Should've stopped at movie 2. But Ripley is kept alive and thrown in a cell until she regains consciousness. From a symbolic standpoint, the bag represents rebirth and entering a new world of life. But from a reality standpoint, they're just dicks fucking around with her.
Hey Larry, you got that giant novelty condom from Spencer's?
Yeah?
Why don't we go ahead and put her inside it?
You've been dreaming about this for a while, haven't you?
So what if I have?
But we quickly see that this Ripley is different from the one before, as some of her DNA has mixed in with the alien and made her a different kind of creature. For example, she thinks the word fork is fuck.
Fork. Fuck.
She said fuck, it's funny.
It's a queen.
How did you know that?
She'll breed. You'll die.
I think you will find that, things have changed a great deal since your time.
Yes, like they have acid-proof cells to keep the aliens in. Oh wait, they don't. Well, at least they have a general who understands the scientific risks at stake. Oh wait, they don't. Well, at least they're not just relying on a bunch of space pirates to bring them their incredibly important cargo. Oh, for God's sakes, this operation is as airtight as a screen door! Yeah, things have come a long way since before, but dumb is still dumb!
Hey, don't cut thrust till about 600 meters and we'll give him a little scare.
So, like I said before, a bunch of renegade space pirates bring prisoners for the scientists to use as breeding grounds for the aliens.
Could your hands up, please, sir?
What?
Could you get your hands up, please?
By the way, that's Ron Perlman as one of the pirates.
There are no weapons allowed on board, sir.
My own recipe. Way more dangerous.
Could I say my line any closer to the camera? Ow.
Wanna check the chair?
Why, yes, that would make a lot of sense. Okay. And that's Winona Ryder playing the part of Cole. And truth be told, I'm sorry, I'm just not that big a fan of her acting. Why? Because every scene she's in looks like a 5-year-old about to throw a temper tantrum.
He is conducting illegal experiments. And you were planning on letting us know this. We can't trust her!
I wanted ice cream! It doesn't take long for them to come across Ripley, who's just as eager to chew the scenery as the aliens are.
Now, if you don't want to play basketball, I know some other indoor sports. Come on now, give me the ball.
I guess she's wearing her air fuck yous today. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that her alien DNA gave her super Spider-Man powers, too.
The hell are you?
yes, and the ability to shoot a basket without even looking. No doubt another chilling side effect of the alien DNA. These things must have taken their sports very seriously. So for a while, we see people on the ship mosey around being boring. I think this is supposed to establish character development, but let's face it, we're just getting an early peek at the buffet. We know these guys are alien chow, and we're just looking at the clock until they get munched on. And then there's bizarre shit like this. You know, it's at moments like this where I realize the only reason we let Brad Dourif act is because we're afraid of what he'll do if he doesn't.
I have a date with a 6-year-old boy.
Hey, come on, you were putting the moves on him! Meanwhile, Cole tries to break into the security system that is so high-tech and so airtight that she has a keychain of choices to foil it with.
Please try again. Thank you, General Perez.
Thank God they didn't station one of the bajillion guards they have on board this flying crockpot.
Well, you gonna kill me or what?
There's no point, is there?
It's true, they'll keep making sequels without her.
You gotta help me stop this thing before it gets loose.
It's too late. You can't stop it.
This lesbian tease for the trailer better not interrupt my tea party.
I don't care.
I can make it stop.
Did I mention this director was French? Very, very French.
Go on. Get out of here. They're looking for you.
And the ability to psychically tell when people are looking for other people. Yet another chilling, if not confusing side effect of the alien DNA. Right next to reenacting scenes from Wild Things.
I think you're gonna find that this was very ill-advised.
But Cole gets caught and they suspect she's some sort of terrorist trying to stop their plans. So they capture the rest of the pirates to question them.
Look, I don't care whether you knew or not. You brought a terrorist on board a military vessel, and as far as I am concerned, you all die with her!
And I get to say my lines more flamboyant!
Where's the other one? With the chair.
Don't ever touch me. Ever.
Wouldn't it have made more sense if he just kept the gun? Oh well, maybe they're trying to find the peaceful route.
Christy.
Okay, now it was pointless for him not to have kept the gun.
Drop your weapons, and you! Drop that piece of shit! Release Dr. Red! Put down your weapons!
Oh Jesus, why stop there? There's so many other obvious objects you could have bounced it off of.
And defend it.
While that's going on, the aliens in their cell try to figure out a clever way out.
Alright, buddy. There's two kinds of aliens on this ship. Those who like the Nostalgia Critics Transformer Cartoon Review, and those who don't like the Nostalgia Critics Transformer Cartoon Review. Which are you, boy?
I just would have liked to have seen him more in character. The Brad Jones cameo was pointless. The Optimus Prime bit got old. It just wasn't for me.
So the acid blood from the body breaks through the walls and allows the aliens to escape. Again, no guards around to protect the most dangerous fucking thing in the galaxy at the moment. Hell, they don't even call security after this happens. They just look over the mess, making way for this obvious kill.
Hey!
Aw, poor enemy! This leads to the general and his army of shoulder hair to do the most badass thing this division can think of. Run the fuck away.
Go, go, go!
Evacuation. This is not a drill.
Run like pussies from the thing we were supposed to be guarding this whole time!
The aliens try to break into Ripley's cell, but she has a plan to break open the metal wall with her bare hands, cut her skin, use her acid blood to short out the wires, thus opening the door. Or she could have just used the exact same strength to open the door. Guess that acid blood doesn't flow much to the brain, huh?
Oh boy, it's like a cup of noodles.
This looks like a job for a pointless CG shot.
In honor of those who proudly run away like little girls.
Proof that Dan Hedaya can act with just a small portion of his brain. So of course, after the fucking army runs away from these things, our space pirates try to hightail it as well. Or they stop and walk slowly in the other direction rather than make it to their only escape route.
Idiots on level 5, sweet delicious idiots on level 5.
So this guy, whose name you can't remember, gets axed off and they come across suspect number 1.
Don't shoot! It's in front of the hall!
It's okay, I'll give you guys a few minutes to run.
Come on, man. Time to go. Time to go.
Get back!
Few more minutes. Yeah, I should probably chase after them.
Get the goddamn door!
I'm so distracted, I just can't focus. You know, I think my mind was just distracted by that ad I saw earlier today. How'd it go again?
Herzlich willkommen bei Alpha Presents, ich bin Alpha und ich präsentiere diese Untertitel des Videos. Wenn euch das gefällt, wir haben sicher noch ein paar mehr Nostalgia Critic Videos im Petto, also einfach den Kanal abonnieren und werdet nie wieder ein Übersetzungsvideo vom Nostalgia Critic verpassen. Außerdem haben wir jeden Tag von Montag bis Donnerstag eine DVD und Blu-ray Kritik, die sind manchmal auch lustig und damit geht's weiter mit dem Video.
Yeah, that was it. Okay, I think they've had time to simmer in their own sweat. Let me just use these psychic alien powers I just figured out we had to not figure out that one of my own kind is about to shoot me in the mouth.
What the fuck?
I better still get a snow cone.
Was it everything you hoped for?
What is your obsession with turning this into a lesbo flick?
So, who do I have to fuck to get off this boat?
Well, we all know who you like to fuck. Seriously, where did this come from?
Let's get out of here.
Now wait a second here. She was the host for these monsters. She's not human.
I wanted a horse, not a pony.
She comes.
So they come across the wheelchair guy. Yeah, I know he has a name, but let's face it, you're just gonna call him the wheelchair guy. And they also stumble across the other cloning experiments before Ripley was made. Now, this scene is creative and allows for some cool visuals, but when you really get down to it, it's totally pointless. Would you really miss anything if this part of the story was cut out? Aside from deformed Ripley booby?
A painless poison will do.
And I'm sure this will in no way attract other aliens aboard the ship at all. Whatever you do, don't draw the aliens' attention except for very loudly destroying as much equipment as possible. Very stealth, very stealth.
Must be a chick thing.
They come across one of the prisoners who has an alien inside of him, and like morons, they decide to bring him along. I'm so looking forward to not getting attached to this character because obviously he's going to die. You have the same chances as a lawyer in a theme park filled with dinosaurs. Odds aren't in your favor, guy.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
They come across a flooded area where they discover the aliens have set a trap for them to birth more babies. Oh shit, that's bad. As you remember in the first film, once those things get on, they never come off. The more and more you pull, the tighter and tighter it gets. Or she just rips it off like waxing a mustache. Did you even see the other Alien movies? Were these things really like just swatting a housefly off of you the whole time? Annoying. Luckily, the black guy from earlier still has calculated aiming that would make Basil of Baker Street blush.
Multiplied by the square root of an isosceles triangle, dividing Gutenberg's principle of opposing forces in motion, and adjusting for the difference in equilibrium.
This allows them to start climbing up just as one of the doctors from before turns against them.
You really are way too trusting.
Allow me to put this in my bitch later folder. Trust me, I'll put it to good use. So the alien jumps out of the water and tries to follow our heroes. Wait a minute! You're telling me that this guy can hit with impeccable accuracy any angle, any position, knocking off of every solid object he can find, but a 7-foot alien standing right the fuck in front of him is constantly throwing off his aim? Do you need him to wear a giant bullseye on his head? Good God, this is embarrassing! He does finally manage to shoot the damn thing, but it hangs onto his foot, which he could easily kick off, but for some reason he decides to separate himself to save the rest of the crew. Let us have a moment of silence for that black guy.
You know, I don't think that fall would have killed him.
Nah, he's dead.
There's no other aliens down there to get him.
No, he's dead.
He could easily just swim out of there any chance he wanted.
Why can't you just accept the incredibly rare fact that a black guy has died in a horror film?
Even all the face huggers were destroyed.
You racist? How does that even...
Sure.
But it turns out Cole made it out okay, despite the fact that she was shot. Why? Because she's a robot, of course.
You're an autot. Robots designed by robots, right?
And alright, this leads me to my bitch later folder. First off, if she's a robot, why did a bullet hurt her? The robots in the past never took so long to recover from anything like that. Second, since she fell in the water, why didn't the alien attack her when it had the chance? They're smart, they know she's a threat. And third, if she could swim out of the water okay, why the fuck couldn't the black guy? You racist?
I don't think you know what that word means.
So after figuring that out, Ripley gets caught by the aliens but is surprisingly not harmed.
Ripley!
Things get even worse when the doctor catches up with the crew and holds Cole hostage.
Nobody moves, or I put a cap right where this little droid's brain is.
Go ahead, she's a fucking robot!
Now drop the weapon!
Yeah, sure, drop the weapons. It's not like robots can survive anything extreme, except being shot in the chest, being torn in half, and getting your head fucking decapitated. But aside from that, robots are very sensitive, be careful. Here's another goofy scene. The prisoner from earlier feels the alien starting to come out, so what does he do? What anyone would do if they felt something starting to pop out of their stomach. Gets up, goes for a walk, beats the living shit out of the guy, and then has the alien burst through his head. Well, give him an A for creativity, but this makes no sense! I don't remember John Hurt going through anything like this in the first Alien movie. Oh my god, I feel something about to burst out of my chest! Oh, that's strange, I have a sudden burst of energy. Hell, I want to jazzercise! Oh yes, do a little typo. Up, it's kicking.
Hello, my baby! Hello, my honey!
And just when you thought things couldn't get any sillier in this movie, we find out that Brad Dourif is still alive, throwing a really fucking last-minute plot exposition that Ripley's DNA mixed with the Queen's DNA now allows her to give birth to a new life form. Oh, and you thought his acting as Chucky was subtle? Take a look at this little piece of Shakespearean gold.
You are a beautiful, beautiful butterfly.
I have no idea why I'm cheerfully invested. But the new baby doesn't take to her mother kindly.
Not the mama!
Oh, look. Look, beautiful, beautiful little baby.
You know, his performance is like a human representation of alien porn fan fiction. I really have no idea what's going on through his mind, and I think for the sake of all humanity, it should remain that way. He should just come with a sign saying, Brad Dourif. No questions, damn it, no questions. So Ripley gets away and jumps onto the ship leaving for Earth, but of course that snot bubble sneaks aboard too.
Put it down!
I really love how they try to make you feel for this thing you were introduced to in the last 10 minutes of the movie. Especially when they give him these big puppy dog eyes.
I just want to eat humanity and devour brains. Is that a crime?
Even at his most psychotic, they still try to throw that shit in. It's pretty emotionally clustered.
I just want to play with the puppies.
You cocksucking motherfucker!
Mommy, why would you do this to me?
I'll eat your ass in hell!
But they shoot a hole in the window, which forces him to literally get sucked out.
I want a princess castle!
Best death ever. Wow.
So I'm sure a hole in the window of a ship re-entering Earth's atmosphere wouldn't cause any complications at all. So they re-enter fine and look over the new world they have to explore. And after all that lesbian buildup, we finally get our gay kiss for the movie. Fuck you. So that was Alien Resurrection. What the hell happened? It's so weird watching a movie franchise like this go so bizarrely bad. Especially with, to be fair, a lot of good people working on it. The story has a million holes, the characters are just there to die. The idea of mixing Ripley's DNA with the alien is interesting, but doesn't add to much, if anything at all. Some of the gross out deaths are creatively over the top, but for the most part, it's just a lame flick. And a really disappointing way to end what is now the poorly named Alien trilogy. Personally, I'll take my chances with Prometheus. After all, when has Ridley Scott ever directed a bad movie? Let me dream! I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember it? So you don't have to.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own.
Check, please.
Must be a chick thing.